Welcome back to my channel. On today's video, we are going to be doing the first time tag, or my first time tag. Yes, it's that time again. It is time for another tag video. I do have the questions written down, so if you see me looking down, that is why. The first question is, what was my first tweet? So I had to track it down and write it down. I really wish that my phone would not be dead every single time I try to do a video. But anyway, I wrote it down. So it was, I've been saying I was going to start my channel for years now, and it's finally in the works! Exclamation point. I can't describe how excited I am. Stay tuned. Smiling, blushing face, and kissy emoji. I had a very difficult time trying to make sure that it was under the character count. I learned very quickly that I could not be too wordy on Twitter. Alright, my first YouTube video. My first YouTube video, I wanted to do kind of an introduction video. It's like a 3-minute video. It's the first video on my channel. If you want to check it out, you can go do that. I'm not going to link it below. I really contemplated deleting it a while because the quality sucked. And I was so nervous you could barely hear me, and I was just very awkward. I hadn't gotten used to the camera yet, and I really wanted to delete it, but I thought it was real, I thought it was raw, and very fitting for a first YouTube video, so I decided to keep it, but I don't like that video. First person sub to, I actually have a personal YouTube channel as well as this one here, and I'm not subbed to anybody on this channel quite yet, but the first person that I subbed to on my personal YouTube channel, I can't even freaking remember. I should have pulled that up before I turned on the camera. Anyway, it was probably like Jenna Marbles or Shane Dawson. Okay, first Facebook profile pic. I've had my Facebook for a really long time, and the first picture that I ever uploaded is long gone now. It's been deleted, but it was probably a bathroom pic, just me like doing duck face or something like that. Ew. Do you still talk to your first love? I do. We are really good friends. What was your first alcoholic drink? Okay, so my first alcoholic beverage was a Colt 45. I was and it was like a sip or something. I was a baby. I was still running around in, you know, a walker. I was still learning how to walk, and I was teething, and my grandmother would give us alcohol to kind of numb the pain, and she loves Colt 45s, and plus I loved my grandma. I was always around her, so whenever she had something to drink, I would want it, and she drank Colt 45 all the time, so did I. Your first job. My first job was at DSW as a seasonal sales associate. It was not very fun. Initially it wasn't, but I kind of got the hang of it, and I'm an okay salesperson. I like shoes, so I guess it kind of worked. I don't miss it, but I don't miss it. First car. My first car is my current car still. It is a Sportage Kia, 2009 Sportage Kia. Yeah, it's silver. It's all-wheel drive, and gets me from A to B, so that's all that matters to me. First person to text you today. My mother. She's always the first person to text me in the morning. First person you thought of this morning. My mother, because I had to text her back. First grade teacher. Mrs. Anderson. I went to a Christian school, a private Christian school, from pre-K to first grade. And they were very strict. They were very strict. They were allowed to hit us, as in spank us, or, you know, physically discipline us. And my first grade teacher, she didn't do that, but she was just very mean. She always had an attitude. She was not a happy person, like, ever. Oh, I do not miss her. First plane ride. My first plane ride ever would have to have been to Miami. I don't remember how old I was. I want to say like 5 or 6. My dad actually remarried, and my stepmom was half Cuban, I think. So she lived in Miami. So we went to Miami to go visit her family. That was my first plane ride. Where am I? First sleepover. See, I don't know if this counts, but my first sleepover would definitely be at my grandma's house with my cousins or something like that. But I don't know if it's like first sleepover as in you go over a friend's house. We didn't really do that. I didn't have a lot of friends. So sorry. First thing you did this morning, I texted my mom back this morning. I woke up to a text from her, so I texted her back. First concert. My first and my last concert was in 2004. It was the Scream Tour 4 concert with Bow Wow. Yeah, people know him, but he's not doing music anymore. Omarion. I think he came up with something a few years ago. Supposed to Be, I think was the song. Pretty Ricky, Nobody. They're not doing music anymore. Who else? I feel like there were other people, but those were the 3 main people. And I hated it. The music was fine. They had a great show. It's just I'm not a crowd people person. There were people everywhere. People standing on top of chairs. I couldn't really even hear the people singing because everybody else in the crowd was trying to oversing. There were people screaming and trying to get on stage. And I did not like it at all. First broken bone. That is so funny because I'm actually going to do a video after this one about my first broken bone. My first broken bone was the 5th metatarsal whatever bone. It's basically like your pinky bone in my right foot. And I'm not going to go too much into it because I want the video to have a lot more description about what happened. But the very first bone I ever broke, it took me 21 years to break my first bone. It's very painful, and I'm still recovering. So yeah, where was I? Oh, first piercing. My first piercing would have to be my ears being pierced. I don't know how old I was. I was still a baby, but it was something that my dad wanted. I do not know why that was most important to him, but he took all of his kids to go get their ears pierced. The only one that my mother was upset about was my brother. He took my brother to go get his ears pierced, and he just did not have a really good reaction to it. Like, his ears were red and big and swollen, and it was just bad. But yeah, I got my ears pierced when I was a little girl, like a baby, like still in diapers, still babbling, you know, like not a newborn, but a baby. First foreign country I ever visited. The first foreign country that I ever visited was Jamaica. It's the first and only foreign country I ever visited. I'm really, really hoping to change that soon because I really want to go to Europe, as you all know. So yeah, I went to Jamaica. It was fun. First movie. Now, I was thinking about this. I cannot remember. The first thing that came to my mind as I was writing this was Sixth Sense with Bruce Willis and Haley Joel Osment, I think is his name. But it's a really, really good movie. I still watch it to this day. Everybody knows The Sixth Sense. But it could have been Lion King. I don't know for sure. I don't know. It was so long ago. I don't know. But I just went with the first thing that came to my mind was The Sixth Sense. First detention. First detention I ever got was for being tardy in class too many times. I had a very difficult time getting into my locker in middle school. Like, it took me a long time to figure that out. And it got to the point where I just wanted to avoid going to my locker at any cost. So I would just carry everything with me in my backpack. And it made for a very, very achy back and achy shoulders because I would try to carry all my books in my backpack so that I could avoid my locker. But yeah, my first detention was for being tardy too much. First roommate. My very first roommate would have to have been my sister. I don't know if that counts. Does it? I mean, we always shared a room together. And even when we moved out together. So technically, she's still my first roommate. First thing you do when you get home. The first thing I do when I get home is put down my purse and take off my shoes. and change into my pajamas or something more comfortable. First kiss. My first kiss was in first grade. How fitting. So I was either 6 or 7, and I don't think it counts technically because it was a kiss on the cheek, but I'm counting it. So that is all of the questions. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you learned something about me, I guess. I really like doing these tags. They're pretty fun and just random as ever. You just learn the randomest things about people during these tags. So let me know if you guys have some other tag that you'd like me to do. If not, I'm sure I'll find something to do on my own. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned.